are in fact such a melting pot, and we need to start really. I say we, whoever we is. Perhaps it's just New Yorkers right now, but embracing that sense of identity.
Could it be at this juncture, for the United States? And one of the things that we spoke about even during this salon is that maybe the answer was that, because someone asked, if you could be on any network, what would you be on? And without even thinking, I instantly said, well, of course we'd want to be on an international network. Could it be that maybe the world is beyond these simple borders, that it's not about the United States anymore, that it's more about being international, that if we don't start thinking in these broader terms, that's really where the issue is. That
I think it's not just a question of nationality, I think it's also a question of spirituality. And I'm pleased to see, just in the last few days, and pardon me, I am sort of political, it runs in the blood, but that not only the Dalai Lama was invited to speak on the floor of the U.S. Senate, to sort of counter the effects of what we see, who we know is Monsieur Netanyahu, which, I love him, whatever he has to say, come and say it, but let's hear all sides. And so we have Netanyahu, the Dalai Lama, and we also have the Pope coming to speak. So it's a very exciting time
especially
in the United States.
Especially given what we know about Congress these days.
Well, it's incredibly hopeful that we're being exposed to all of this, because I think the real problem, part of the problem, I think, is that the rest of the world sees us as monolithic right now, and we're not monolithic. There's so many of us thinking so many different thoughts that it's such a challenge to say this is what an American is. Because every time you turn around, you find out, well, an American is something very different than what we think it is. And so having done the amount of traveling all over the world, as I have, people love Americans. They absolutely hope the best for us. So, I embrace this opportunity to talk about that in the salon is how we find our way through misunderstanding. I think perhaps that is my gesture, if I can contribute, is to try to find common ground versus the differences.